Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, free enterprise friends. I am one of your co-commentators, Groundflyer, and forget what I just said about morning and evening. It is Friday night, and you know what that means.
Whoa!
It is time for the Friday night community race. Yes, and I am joined here with Hubfin. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I don't think I quite have your energy or enthusiasm, but I think we still have a good set of objectives, a good race ahead of us. Let's just get into what we're looking at here, shall we? Let's look
Oh,
at
yeah,
all this edge, all this beautiful edge.
Who is that guy? I don't remember seeing him for the last couple months very much.
Well, I mean, he's been around. He's a ninja. He hides. It's what he does.
He hides so well that nobody even picks him up. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is cool. It's called To Hades and Back Again, an Edgy Tale. And this, yeah, you start with Edge, and then you have to defeat his parents, and defeat the king of the town of monsters, and raise the big whale. You don't even have to complete a crystal to fight Zeromus or anything like that, so you won't be seeing any butts, unfortunately. But once those three objectives are done, we are done. So it's going to be real exciting to see how fast this goes.
Yeah, these sorts of races can go very quickly, but we do have that one boss hunt, and that is the sort of thing that really can drag down a seed. The king and queen can be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the king of the town of monsters is probably the toughest spot on the planet. You've got a couple tougher moon bosses, but like when you can't get to the planet yet, you don't have a darkness crystal, you don't necessarily have your grind options ready. Having to take down Leviathan or whoever's there is real tough. So even though the grind will be done on the planet and probably using sirens, it's still gonna be a pain in the neck.
Well, you say take down Leviathan. We do have Dathis as our restreamer this evening. He is a bit notorious for vanilla, so we may very well have Leviathan at Leviathan. And
I'm really
also a
mad
nod
though. He didn't give us any. Oh, sorry.
I was going to give a nod to Joseph as our tracker this evening as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna yell at Dathis. He didn't give us any vanilla ice cream. Kind of a jerk.
I know, but we'll make do and we'll get this race underway.
We are starting. So who is the second character that hangs out with Edge? Ooh, it's Rydia. So his favorite character.
Yeah, there's a nice balance of Edge is a character that starts off very strong. If he's your first character, you're in great shape. Rydia, a little squishy, a pretty low HP. So we've got some extremes going on, but Rydia will get powered up pretty easily if you want to keep her around in the party.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they went to Mount Hobbs and checked for that Sylph summon to see, or sorry, the Hobbs summon to see if they get like a Sylph or something like that. So just give her a little more power.
Yeah, I mean, she can be your healer if that's what you need, or another source of damage. But that power shirt will make Edge even more potent to start things off and do a bit of looting. We see Twisted Flax up in the top left, hitting up Baron Castle. Poidrak looking for the boss at the Mist Cave, hoping for something interesting in here.
Yes, it's fascinating. I'm actually really curious. Rumblefish seems to be going up ordeals. I mean, I guess, but you have a power shirt Edge. You might just be able to take it out. So that's a pretty spicy starting play here.
And meanwhile, Gundam Pilot Spaz is over in the Eblin Cave, despite not having a hook, because as you can see, we have push B to jump on, which means that you can push B to jump. And then you get into battle and you can push B to jump.
Push B to break the game, but in interesting ways.
Absolutely. So there's a fair number of bosses that we just won't have to deal with.
Yeah, including anything leading underground, because the one of the nice things about push B to jump is you don't need the hook and the hovercraft to get into the cave, obviously, and you also don't need to fight any of the bosses. You can just jump over the little boss prompts and just go right into the underground.
Yes, but in the process, Gundam Pilot Spaz is finding our jealous Dragoon, Kane, who is supposed to be jumping.
I guess, yeah. This is, yeah. I guess maybe did he invent push B to jump? Because it is kind of his game.
He might have a legal claim. I'm not a lawyer, but he might have a claim.
I am a lawyer.
Is all I'm saying.
Wait, no, I'm not. Oh yeah, and one of the other things
to the court of Eblin.
Yes, right, exactly. Oh crud, I'm guilty. Yeah, sorry. But one of the things that's nice about this is we have T wild slash sparse. So the sparse is 80, so there's not quite as few or quite as many empty chests as we would normally see in 3 Zone. So it's a little bit better like that. But also T wild means the loot is way spicier. You could definitely
Oh,
like
yeah.
find an X cal in a chest.
I mean, you can find an adamant armor in a chest if that's your fancy.
It sure is my fancy. GPS is taking a quick look. It looks like King Queen Evelyn was elements, so he's just going to take the dive down immediately now. No Miss Dragon has been found yet.
Yep, Rumblefish has taken care of the ordeal's chamber and has checked the 2 bosses there. No King Queen Evelyn there either.
Oh yeah, I was like, why is he doing ordeals early? That's gonna be hard. Yeah, you can jump over all the bosses. What am I thinking? It's totally free.
Yeah.
And that looked like a pain man on the top of tower, I believe.
It absolutely was. And that is a darkness crystal over in the Antlion Cave. Don't be fading that this seed. You have to do it.
Oh heck. Yeah, that's objective 3 raise, or sorry, 2, raise the whale. So nobody needs to go up on the moon. Maybe you want to check a character in the moon lunar dais. You can do that, but there's actually no objectives or key items up there at all.
With one exception being the Bahamut spot. We do have case summons, and Bahamut is considered a summon, not a moon boss. It's a very easy thing to forget, but that is just one location out of the entire set. So really, if you're going up there, you're looking for the bosses, not the items.
True, and I guess the other potential exception would be if you find the Miss Dragon, because I think you can find Miss Dragon anywhere, and that still would count.
Yeah. I do believe the key item flags are just for the direct explicit drop from the location.
Now, one thing that's interesting, it looks like is Poydrak fight? Is that a vanilla Mylon Z in the first spot on ordeals? I think is that where he's at.
No, he's over on Hobbs.
Oh, did he find that Rosa? That's spicy.
He did find that Rosa. I'm sorry, that Meg.
Oh, Meg. Yes. Okay, well, somebody did get the Hades in there. I knew Hades was coming in some form. Hades is real good, you guys. You should play it.
And that was a pan from the Fabul defense, so close to vanilla. I mean, we're getting the pan from Fabul. That's fine.
Yeah, you still
slightly more
can't do the
convenient.
rivers. Yeah, you can't do the Rivers McCount special. You still have to dive it at least twice to get all the stuff. Flaxicide, it just got a ribbon, I think. So that's gonna be real good for some good defense. And an Hourglass 3, which will be nice if you have to deal with any monsters that you can actually, they don't have the boss bit, so you can stop them using hourglasses.
Yep, the Dark Imps, the guards, the soldiers, plenty of opportunities for it. And, Dark Imps at King of Town of Monsters, that's a noof.
Exactly, yeah, that'd be a super free if you can get that hourglass up. Well, as long as you have more than 4 characters, because 3 are gonna die.
Oh yeah.
That's a real punchy spot, friends. It's gonna, yeah, if there's 3 imps, it's 3 times death. And the whale is risen on Poydrak's side. Objective 2 complete. Ooh, we have Job Dwarf checked by Gundam Pilot Spaz. It was a teacher of the blind. Awesome.
Good work, Job Dwarf. Good work.
I'm always impressed. I wonder how many jobs there are to choose from with Job Dwarf. It's got to be a lot.
That's a genuinely good question. I don't think I've ever heard a number quoted for that one.
Yeah, like my understanding is there's some database somewhere or other that just has lots of job titles, and that's what it comes from, but I don't know how big it is or anything. And I don't think I've ever seen the same job twice.
Yeah, I mean, we love to play around with those little random customizations that doesn't affect the game, but it's nice to see. There's plenty of those scattered about.
Very true. Now I see Rumblefish has music. Did anybody see where that came from? Whoa, maybe that was no. Hops was the pan. Was Ordeals probably what it was. Yeah, Ordeals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Surprisingly difficult to look at 4 different screens and keep track. I've been so used to 2 for the last 4 months.
But also, this is again push B to jump. You're seeing it, in full display. It opens up so many routing options. You can go pretty much anywhere right out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean, it really lends itself well to massive amounts of divergence. Because, yeah, there's like 7 places you can check right at the beginning.
Yeah, and when you're starting with Edge, a lot of those are actually viable.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Anything on the overworld is you can just do, straight up. Especially with that power shirt, holy heck. Rumblefish also finds the darkness, so we will be seeing Objective 2 done there as well. Anybody that fades Antline's gonna feel real sad.
For sure.
Looks like GPS is now in the town of monsters, checking some stuff, and going to see who that Objective 3 required boss is. If it's King Queen, I'm gonna be so mad.
If it's King Queen, this is actually a comically free seed.
It would be over in like another 5 seconds.
I would need to find something else to do with my evening. Nope, it's
okay, no,
Sisters.
that's Maga Sisters. That's definitely not nearly as pleasant as King Queen.
Yeah, that is a spot that doesn't punch terribly frequently, but it does punch, and the spells aren't exactly kind either.
Yeah, I mean, once it goes through the Maga Sisters cycle, you get the wall, the punch, and the spell cast. So you see just as many punches as you do spell cast, and those punches will knock someone out pretty handily. It'll be like it'll be 4 digits.
Oh, certainly.
But yeah, push me to jump just inserts so much speed into the game. Like it can still take a long time. Like there's definitely still really tough stuff to do, but you can just jump past obstacles. Like any dungeon you have to go through, you can get it done faster. Any place you're looking for treasures or whatever it is, you can get it done like speedier. Like you jump over that little portal and you grab a crystal sword.
Yeah, jump through the Evelyn Cave and not have to even deal with the second screen to it.
Exactly. Yeah, you can jump around like what I think it's Zot. You like go through one door that you would never go through vanilla, and you like jump over a couple walls, and all of a sudden you're at Maga Sister spot. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Rumblefish is over here on the moon, hitting up the Lunar Dais, seeing what character is there. Oh, we have Twisted Flax and Gundam Pilot Spaz both down in the Town of Monsters. Oh, that is a paladin on the moon.
That's doubly interesting because we just saw a crystal sword in Fey March.
We did.
And also, Cecil is not weighed down by that vanilla agility flag that we were seeing in Threemus Zone. So anybody can be the anchor, even if you have Cecil. So you can just kind of make him go ham and super powered.
Yeah, although unfortunately Rumblefish does not have that crystal sword at the moment, so it's just gonna have to stick a bow on the paladin and call it there.
I believe he stuck the bow and arrow on opposite hands. I think you can still use it, but I think your damage is not as high. There's something weird about it.
It is a arrows in that hand.
My bow is real sharp. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it certainly can be. I've seen some pointy bows in my day.
I mean, if you make the bowstring like a thin enough gauge string, like you could cut your hand with it. I'm just saying.
I mean, I was thinking like where the bow and the wood meet, just like make that really pointy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, for sure. But yes, obviously, it's the It's the arrow, the pointy bit, the bit that goes into the flesh or into whatever rock. I don't know what you're shooting.
The monster,
A
the
monster,
machine.
yes. Pretty
We do
hardy
shoot
arrows.
a lot of things, don't we? In this
Really
game.
do, yeah. Pretty much anything possible, including like flan. Because I don't feel like eating pudding today. I'm just gonna shoot an arrow into it, I guess.
I guess doesn't do enough damage though.
Fair.
But
and we see
speaking of doing damage, here's Poydrak finding Dark Knight Cecil.
DKC. This is a pretty high physical attack spot. I think this is gonna. I think this DKC does a lot. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering here.
You know, I do believe I've had it in this situation, and it has hurt. That's about 800. Maybe Edge will survive with this elixir. Maybe. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's gonna get full health here, and it was only like 300 something. So that's done. That's good.
Yeah, that's a very rude spot if you want your entire party to get the XP. Since we're not fighting Zeromus, it doesn't matter so much.
Yeah, like any concept of like needing grinds or any of that stuff is mostly out the window. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if folks like grab like 2 sirens or whatever they needed to get to take on that Magus Sister part of the spot, but or not the spot of Magus Sisters. You know what I mean? Oh, is Rat Tail at top of tower?
Rat Tail was top of tower.
Nifty, except obviously no hook. I keep forgetting that because like they went down Eblin. I'm like, of course they have the hook to do the thing. Nope, they sure
Nope.
don't.
Nope, and with all this push B to jump nonsense, you can't actually jump to the Adamant Grotto. We've tried.
Yeah, I was really disappointed you couldn't do that. Twisted Flax, though, making a good play here now is going back around and doing Antline, as we know that has Darkness Crystal, so that's really helpful. GPS doesn't have that yet, however, so that's one thing he's still on the lookout for.
Yeah, he has managed to nab that Sand Ruby. I don't remember where that came from, though. Sheila 1, thanks to Jovis pointing that out.
Yeah, thanks. We're going to be asking a lot of questions. Thank you for helping Chad and everyone else.
And yes, even despite all this jumping shenanigans, rerouting, like when folks go underground and so forth, does not alter the logic in any way. So if there is a way underground without having to jump, but it's just so much faster.
Yeah, right. Like you said, yeah, literally, like if you wanted to play this non-jumping, like never push the B button for any of the stuff, you could totally play it. It's still playable in that fashion. The logic has not been modified to include that kind of stuff. So you will see some way underground on the overworld. And have we seen that yet?
We have not. There's a fair chance at this point that it's going to be behind that twin harp.
That's what I'm thinking. And I don't know, maybe that's not a check that anybody wants to make because they don't need a key item anymore. It's really just that ball.
I was to check what that summon was, and it was Ashura.
I sure love that.
That is one of the I'm silently clapping. That is one of the value options that you can get out of there.
Yeah, it's like between that and Sylph, and I think the best physical damage one is Titan. Those are the best you can get there. But they're definitely good, especially early game when you like don't really have anything.
Yeah, I can't remember if Leviathan is a candidate there, but generally speaking, Sylph and Ashura are going to be really good grabs.
For sure. I believe the ones that are excluded are Leviathan and Bahamut. I think those are the only two.
Bahamut definitely excluded because Bahamut's strong.
Yeah, who doesn't want a full like all enemies nuke that's like, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
All right,
Looks
we.
like oh,
I was gonna
Poydrak
say
went down and got the crystal sword and went to check the Fey March bosses and stuff, and he's moving on. One thing I did notice that's interesting is somebody found a mute dagger, and I think someone else, maybe it was Rumblefish, I think had mute arrows. So mute daggers, mute arrows. Maga Sisters are weak to, or they are mage types, so they are weak to mage damaging items such as those two items. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of folks using those type of things to get through that set of Maga Sisters eventually.
Yeah, there's some strong value in having anything that exploits a mage weakness. It just means you have to do that much less grinding to be able to take on that fight.
Yeah, because it does it do 4 times damage? It does something obscene. Where you
I
just
believe
crush
it. I believe it is a 4x multiplier if you hit the mage weakness.
And we have, it looks like music is coming up here. I believe we just saw, oh no, I'm sorry, that's right. It's push B to jump. Jerks. So we'll still see the boss. We probably will get a clip of the music because they do still need to find King Queen. I would be surprised if Rumblefish doesn't actually check that. He might save it, go get the item. If it's nothing, then check or whatever. But we definitely want to know where they are. Just maybe the one instance where push B to jump doesn't stop music.
Doesn't stop it, but it does cut it awful short if it's not Eblin royalty.
Yeah, we just gotta hope for Evelyn royalty. But even then, if you go through to the second phase or whatever, when they die off, then they switch to that sad music. So they will turn it off.
True. We'll see. You just have to defeat them before that happens. Clearly. Exactly.
Yes. But it's it's tough because then if you defeat him before that happens, then you get less music. So.
Oh, Rumble's not even going to skip, just going to go straight in. Bringing in that bard that we saw earlier in Baron Inn.
Oh, fascinating. Yeah, he's got Edgey here. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what his thoughts are behind that. It could be that maybe, I know I am not as good at push B as some folks are. I definitely forget sometimes that I can push B on a thing, and I still do it regularly.
Meanwhile, Rumblefish has picked up Edward, and on the other extreme, Gundam Pilot's Pass has picked up Fusoya.
Ooh, I forget. Wait,
Fusoya exists.
That's wow. I thought he was actually patched out of the game. Honestly, I thought just Boardface was just you know what? I just don't even want to see him anymore. He just, I don't know, maybe his beard's too good, or I don't know what it is. Just felt jealous or something. But I'm surprised to see him here.
They said he was a myth. They said, it's you have Bigfoot, you have the Jersey Devil, and you have Fusoya, but no, he's real.
Oh, music, sorry. That's a bonus round.
I believe they call that value.
I believe you're right. So yeah, anybody that doesn't check this gonna feel real bad.
Yes, hello everybody. This is your resident restreamer. So I would like to sincerely apologize right now. It appears that I am one of the people who are having some minor Discord issues, as some people were also talking about in chat. You can't hear the commentator team tonight. I do sincerely apologize for this. So we're gonna hopefully get my Discord up and set up until then. As we can see right now, we have multiple things going on. We have Gundam Pilot Spaz, who's just finishing up doing Baron Castle, whereas Twisted Flax is going to go tackle that Baron Inn. Rumblefish just leaving Mist and is also going to be taking a stab down here in Baron, while Poidorak is on the moon and taking up that free heal.
Live noises on stream.
We are definitely making live noises not on stream, but we like to be making them on stream as well.
Oh, I just unmuted the stream and I heard you. So there we go. Hooray! Everyone can hear us. Sorry again. For death is his failure. Sorry about that.
And also for having to hear us. So in the interim, we did find that the D-Mist drop was the Baron Key, which Gundam Pilot Spaz is kind of proving not very valuable.
Yeah, so far hasn't gotten anything out of it. We got a ha at Odin spot. Ooh, that's spicy. I kind of hope that. Oh wait, now that I hope there's a key item there that has King Queen behind it.
Yeah, at this point, that would have to be the Luca key or the package.
Tower key. Oh no, sorry, tower key's there. Right.
Nope.
My bad.
Have the tower key. Yeah.
And we have Earth. Well, Poidrak has Earth Crystal. So that's another place that could be checked. But he's going in the subterranean actually here and looking at all the bosses.
Yeah, which makes sense. You know, these aren't going to be gating any of those items. So get these out of the way. And then if you know that it's not up here, you never have a reason to come back.
Exactly. This is actually a pretty quick check. And since it's King Queen Eblin, you're going to be able to beat it even with this crew. So that's actually a really smart move just because of the density of bosses up there.
Yeah, Rumblefish is using that Baron Key in its intended approach. He's going to face this evil wall, then hit up the throne, and just generally be a little disappointed in the whole affair.
I'd be pretty disappointed too. I'm disappointed in a lot of things. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm just terrible. No, I'm kidding.
Are you a Baron Key?
I might be. I don't know. I don't know if you were in the channel when we were doing the little like drawing like charades or not Pictionary type game on Discord. People were drawing keys and they kind of looked like people like playing piano. I could be that.
Well, so far Poidrak has not found what we're looking for. With just the Ogopogo spot remaining before we can rule out the moon entirely.
Yeah, it's kind of a huge bust going through all this moon. Like, despite the fact that there's a lot of bosses to check, it's still a good, like, 4-minute check at least.
Well,
that's a negative. Moon is haunted.
Afraid it is. So that does leave us with only a few areas of real value. That Earth Crystal is kind of our best density with the 2 checks. Beyond that, with the stuff that we've seen, it's a lot of one-offs.
Has anyone done Dwarf Castle?
Yes, Poidrak did that. I think that was where the rat tail came from, but I'm not positive if it was rat tail or Earth Crystal.
Yeah, then if that's the case, like, yeah, I don't know if there's no Top Tower's been done. We don't, yeah, we don't have Luca key.
Ah, yes, the Giant. I always forget about the Giant.
Now here's the other thing. You can actually check both those bosses too, because you can't jump over the elements. So you can get, if you want to check both of those too, that's good. And again, and even King and Queen will even be free there.
Yep, they might be a bit. Well, no, we have free bosses on. If we didn't have free bosses on, they would be rather tedious with all the HP in that spot, but still not threatening.
Oh yeah, that'd actually be a real pain in the neck. But yeah, no, they do. What is it? There's something about their spells where they only do like one damage multiplier. So even if the spell like got a high damage roll, it's still not going to do squat. The walls are closing in on Rumblefish right now.
As Poidrak finishes up the Sheila errands, gets the Sand Ruby. Did not do both checks despite having that pan, I guess.
Oh, did he not do the pan check? I guess he did.
I don't know when he picked up the pan relative to when he did the check, but
Or was that or did he do that first?
no,
I'm
yeah,
misremembering.
yeah. This is his first visit to Vabul. Yeah.
Oh, he just got the pan. I
Yeah.
see. So he tried to fade the whole way and never got anything.
Well, I mean, you can take that Sand Ruby and get a foo if that's what you're into.
That is true. I am definitely into foo. I love me some lots of spells right away. I guess you don't need them as much right now, but still. Yeah, Poidrak is headed up to Zot, so we're going to see those two bosses real fast here. They're just, yeah, it's the two bosses. It's the giant. That's it, I think.
It's Sealed Cave, it's package.
Right, it could be behind those two if we get those items, which are available on the planet. It's still totally Haunted Moon, but that could be potential too. I wouldn't hate that, like if it's a package thing. It's always hilarious when that's value. Leviathan spot is Magus Sisters, Pancras.
Yep, that is the fight that we have to do. The Ashura spot is some lunar sparkle. We don't know what it is. We're not terribly worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, unless that has a Luca key and you know the evil wall spot is King Queen. I mean, there's always those kind of options, but that's just unlikely. No one gives two cents about any kind of actual fighting bosses to get key items at this point.
Oh, it's fine. There's some twins in the tower. If you want a pair of mages for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he has left in his arsenal if you would need anybody, but I doubt it. Unless you're looking for an anchor this late, you're just going to get rid of everybody. Drumroll,
Good.
please.
It's just Plague.
Womp. Extreme womp. So yeah, I mean, I guess Poidrax is going through it because there's still the potential of a key item. You might as well just do it, because if you have to run all the way back, if that ends up being the value, that's going to be real disappointing.
Yeah, although not disappointing is that Twin Heart music that Gundam Pilot Spaz is about to enjoy as well. Just
big
gonna
fan
get
of
the
Chrono
hook out of it,
Trigger.
but... Oh no, we're being warned that GPS's stream has a bit of an audio issue at the moment. So sadly, no reprise there.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, we'll all just have our fond memories of Chrono Trigger in our heads for us.
I have the soundtrack. Honestly, it's like one of my favorite OSTs in video games. It's so good. Everybody's kind of treading on familiar ground here, except Poidrak is about to get this item.
It's a Luca key.
So there you go, boss check. Gotta do it. Absolutely could be it.
It's like we're saying, there is that possibility with a boss hunt. that is going to send you down some gnarly rabbit holes, some long chain of item after item to actually get what you want.
It looks like Poitrak hasn't checked a few other things. He's doing Baron Inn right now.
Yeah, and not going to have much of a problem in doing so.
Mylon discovering that he does indeed have a body.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to know that you are corporeal.
Assuming you are corporeal, then that is good information to have.
Fair, I may be a ghost.
Entirely possible. I can't prove otherwise.
And that, I mean, that's science, right? So, you gotta just, trust that I am who I say I am. I guess it'd be hard to push to talk if my hands went through the controller because it wasn't able to touch things.
I mean, either way, I do feel slightly haunted at the moment.
Do you feel like the moon right now?
I do feel like a moon. Yes.
I ate a little too much for dinner, so I agree. No, Pepita, Poitrak has not raided the treasury. But again, we're not going to see treasury raiding because one, nobody needs any items at this point, and two, the items are all equal everywhere. So treasury doesn't. I mean, other than having more chests, it doesn't have necessarily better loot. Flax having the same idea Poitrak had and is doing the entire moon, all of the boss checks there. It's going to be very disappointed.
Yeah, but again, good information to gather. So we know with this flag set that there's not going to be any manner of key item behind any of these moon bosses. And sure, there may be some high quality loot, there could even be adamant armors, but not quite worth the time to actually doing some of these fights.
Oh, super not. Yeah, it's not like they need. I mean, maybe a little bit of XP to bother taking out the Maga Sister spot, but.
Yeah, I guess you could use the Hourglass to take on the Dark Imps and trivialize that fight once you survive 3 swings, but.
Heck, you've got Fusoya, and you could just stone them. It's gonna be real quick.
Yeah. That is an option too. But at the end of the day, you're looking for the Eblin royalty, and that's pretty much it.
And
so
guess
far,
what? It is the end of the day.
It kind of is. That is typically when evening happens.
It's so interesting how time works, and it always goes in the same direction. Poitrak continuing his very disappointing trip down into Baron. Basically, Poitrak was ahead in so many other checks that he's now going back and doing the checks we've seen everyone else do that turned out not well. So he still has a couple things left, but not too many, I don't think.
He does have the material advantage, having that Luca key, that Earth crystal, but is it an advantage in terms of finding the objectives? We don't quite know.
Yeah, tough to say. We cannot, in fact, understand how to discern all of the randomness without actually having seen it yet. By the way, Hupfin, since we're just kind of shooting the heck, how are you feeling about having community races and stuff back, kind of getting back into the swing of things with the fun races?
I love to see the eclectic and just interesting flag sets that the community puts together. And we have these regular community races. We have various community clubs that folks have put together that focus on particular flag sets and provide a little bit of consistency, but even those can be, quite interesting in and of themselves.
For sure. And then you've got stuff that, I mean, even if it's the same within each week, every day has races that are different from the other. So, even if Lunar Racing Club doesn't change, or Basidia Jumping Club doesn't change, there, you still get to see different stuff, which I think is really good. Like, I love the tournament. The tournament was fantastic, but I'm really excited for just having a little bit of variety again, and just kind of like messing around with flags and just kind of playing more for fun instead of for competition.
Yeah, and while these are certainly forerunners that, if you've been watching the 3 Zone, you probably recognize at least one or two of the names. But with these community races, like, it's anyone in the community. If you're part of the Free Enterprise Discord, it's very easy to just hop in on any of these races and give yourself a little bit of experience, see where you see how you hold up on some interesting and surprising flags.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll often be facing off against very difficult opponents, but I feel like the crew in a lot of these races, especially the community ones, it's going to be a lot more wide of a kind of expertise level. So you're gonna be facing off against a lot of novices, intermediates, experts. But I think some of that will be valuable, but also you have a chance of getting further up in placement and stuff like that. You could do a little better. I don't know. I think there's definitely a wider variety of skill, which is also very interesting to see. And everyone should play Hades. Than is my best boy. I stand Than.
There may be a few reasons that this is the flag set that we decided to return to community races with. I'm not going to argue one way or the other because I don't actually know, but there may be reasons.
I don't know. It's hard to say, honestly. But honestly, like, this is the game everyone has been playing in their off time. When they're not playing Free Enterprise, they're playing this because it's good. I mean, as long as you like good things. If you like bad things, this is bad.
Well, speaking of things that I know some folks consider less than good, we have Poydrak and Gundam Pilot Spaz, both in Sealed Cave.
Yeah, it's not often a place you really want to see yourself. It's just a weird. It's like a long trip down, and the one benefit is you get the item check first if you want it. Obviously, they don't care here. Well, they have to still pick it up before the boss appears, but it often baits you. Like, you go all the way in and you get that item, you're like, well, heck, I need this, I have to walk back out, and then you end up with like some monster Kainazo there or something that you just can't deal with.
Yeah, because that evil wall spot is pretty fast and just good stats in general. Not the most brutal, but the speed makes up for it.
I want to say it's like the second or third fastest spot in the game. It's something obscene like that.
And it's only guarding a white shirt on this seed. So if this is not King Queen Evelyn, that is a strong reset. But if it is King Queen Evelyn, it's an objective. It's an objective.
That's a King Queen, friends. We have go mode. I mean, who doesn't want to be dragged all the way down to the Hades, honestly? Like, I'm here with you, King. Let's do it.
Look, going through this sealed cave is halfway to the Hades anyway.
That's true. It's pretty far down. Like, you're definitely going underground.
But this will put Poydrak first to finish out this objective. GPS right behind him. Still has to raise the big whale, but does have the Darkness Crystal to do so. And from there, it's just who can prepare and take out the Magus Sisters first.
Yeah, it comes down to that Magus Sisters fight. If this is going to be really difficult to get through and beat them up, I don't know. I mean, I think that given the strength of what they have now at this point, like, everybody at this point basically, or at least Poydrak does have an edge with like a Masamune, and there are mute dagger, mute arrows out there if that is necessary, and if a Fusoya is in hand, you probably have a Quake, and you can kind of throw that down and take out everybody, since you don't. It's not a reflectable spell, so there's options. But also, they gotta hit hard.
Yeah. I don't remember who, but I saw someone had picked up a number of illusions and had those sitting in their inventory, so those will actually help on that front. They won't protect you from the magic, but they will protect you from the punches.
Yeah, and you can't be protected from the magic. That's the unfortunate bit. Is they like to do the reflect. Wait, yeah, they do the reflect spell off of Cindy, so you can't actually. There's no double reflect in this game. Once it bounces once, that's it.
No, really, your best hope is geared with, good defense, just good magic mitigation in general, or that they just hit the right target and you don't care that they, burn down your cane or whatever. They're not relevant to your plan.
Exactly. Honestly, Poydrak probably doesn't feel terribly bad about grabbing that white robe from Luca. That's some real good defense. But I'm guessing this is the home stretch now for him. We'll have to see how difficult this fight is going to be.
That curse string will help out. As we were saying, we don't have vanilla agility, so whoever you've got in the middle will do the deal. And Rydia does gain agility pretty well. Not the fastest, but it's still up there. But at level 26, you can offset most of it with a curse string.
Yeah, I mean, when you defeat the first boss and you get 6 or 7 agility, or maybe even more than that, just because you gain 13 levels, but it definitely evens off a lot. And yeah, curse string is minus 15 agility, so that'll get you close enough. Even if it isn't 1, you'll still be 3 or 4, and that's still gonna be more than enough to do to get your relative agility 1.
Well, looks like Gunpowder Spaz little, I don't want to say less confident, but is hitting up this alert and using sneak on edge. So looking to steal some sirens.
Ooh, Poydrak throwing out the spoon. Has the spoon to throw with that edge. Is gonna do some serious damage to that Cindy. And Flax giving us another Chrono Trigger reprise here. But even better, that edge. That edge does have a Mute Dagger. Masamune and just did quad 9s. So these bosses, these sisters are going to be defeated extremely fast, and this is going to be a GG real soon. That's doing more damage than throwing the spoon did, actually.
Yep, that's all the damage Poydrak needs. That is objective 3 completed, so just wait for all the animation and all the fanfare to finish. Get a legend sword for the road, just for your travels.
And yeah, the end does not happen until this. Here, objectives complete. GG Poydrak. He gets first place with a time of 49 minutes, 12 seconds. Let's see about getting him in here.
Yep, and not too far behind is Antidale in second place, 49-42. So 30-second difference.
Ooh, that's spicy. Yeah, when these races, that's another thing. It's great. It's so close, but also there's so many people racing. You always get couple second differences. And we are now joined by Poydrak. GG's.
Yeah, I won.
Indeed,
it's always
you
a
did.
surprise. Always a surprise. Especially when I thought I was behind, because that was relatively cheap to go through.
How did you feel about the moon being just so tremendously haunted?
I was expecting it, to be perfectly honest. I was only up there just to check if King Queen Evelyn was up there. I know there's no actual key items up there. I did feel a bit bad leaving the Cave Bahamut up there, but in the end it wasn't required, so I got away with my sort of misgivings there.
Yeah, and in the end, the Luca key was kind of the only thing. Well, the Luca key and I guess the Darkness Crystal was really all you needed to take care of this seed.
Yeah, you don't need a lot to really get through these. The Darkness Crystal was the main one. King Queen Eblin can be pretty much anywhere, so you usually only need one key item. So with that Darkness Crystal being really early, it threw a little bit of a spanner, because that's usually one of the last things you find on going into the underground, because you've got free access with the push B to jump. With it being in that antlion cave, there may be a few people that just skip it.
Yeah, we saw some folks kind of hold off on Antlion for a fair bit of time. We did see you like get the twin harp and then just abandon that entirely. Wound up not mattering.
Yeah, I was planning on going there before going back underground for the tower and Luca Cave, but I forgot that in that particular universe, I hadn't actually entered the well. I'd raised it, I'd gone to the moon, but I reset back to before I actually entered the whale. So when I went to Barren Chocobo Forest, the black chocobo hadn't actually spawned yet. So that was actually what likely won it for me. The fact that I couldn't actually go there, go to Cave Magnus to do that twin harp check.
Oh, that makes sense. Honestly hadn't even thought about that. That's a really good point. Did you feel like at the beginning when you start out with an edge and a power shirt, or are you just like, okay, I can just beat up everything at this point? Like, is there anything, you see Magus Sisters underground in the required Leviathan spot? Are you just like, I'm just gonna be able to blow this up in 3 seconds?
Yeah, absolutely. My plan, and from the sort of play that we had on Monday with the community races, and a pickup race during the midweek, I think it was the salty run back after that race on Monday, but you've got an edge. You don't really need a whole lot else. Check the overworld key item spots for that early Darkness Crystal. See if you can get rid of that one key item check that you absolutely necessarily need, and then go underground. It'll give you a little bit more knowledge about what you've got available to you in terms of characters, equipment that you've already picked up, and you might be in a better stead to actually beat up that Leviathan spot, which in a lot of cases can be difficult. Magus Sisters isn't exactly easy there, but with the mute dagger I'd picked up along the way, even though I believe I picked that up underground anyway, I was in no worries about it because I had that edge, because I had that mute dagger. I just needed a little bit of extra power.
How funny was it that you threw that spoon, it did like 8,500, and then you did the Masamune mute hit, and it was quad 9s?
That, I was expecting in that. The plan was always to throw spoon, then berserk edge, because I wanted edge in the back row to survive the punches from Cindy. In the front row, he can't do that even with a power shirt. So I wanted him in the back row. He was back row glitched, had that Masamune mute dagger. So I wanted him going first, and then Rosa going second to berserk him afterwards, and then let everything just flow from there. It's agility and turn manipulation is always key in a Final Fantasy IV free enterprise setting. No matter what type of gameplay you're playing, in this, that was how I wanted it to set up, and that's how it worked out.
Well, indeed, it worked out very well for you.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how I played today. I feel the choices I made were the correct ones, even if it was a little bit round the bends. And in terms of routing, in the end, there was a lot of things that I could have done without actually needing to do it. It's like we needed Zot, we needed Luca, and we needed King of Town of Monsters. That's pretty much it. But that's fine. This isn't exactly it isn't made to really be a difficult set of seeds. We're just getting back into the community races. Let's have a bit of fun with them after the Highway to Zima Zone 3 is finished. Let's just have some fun.
Absolutely. Any last thoughts?
No, just thank you for everyone, and have a good evening. And I'll see everyone likely very soon.
Yeah, you too. GG's. All right, we are. So, in the time of that interview, we've had a couple other finishes. We had Marty56 finishing in third with a time of 54 minutes 42 seconds. Frostbite 3030 finishing in fourth with a time of 55 minutes 4 seconds. Microcorgs finishing in fifth with a time of 55 minutes 44 seconds. And Tybalt with a time of in sixth place with a time of 57 minutes 13 seconds. So GG's all of you.
Yep, and Gundam Pilot Spaz is about to finish up himself. Having wrapped up that Mega Sisters fight, just has to raise this big whale.
Not gonna lie, I think he might have forgotten to do that.
Well, either way, he's getting it done now.
Because it looked like he stood there for a second like, why am I not done? Oh, shoot.
And Twisted Flax has gone down and found the Eblin royalty in the sealed cave, so we'll be taking care of them. We'll be on his way to the last objective. Rumblefish looks like is going for this Maga Sisters fight, but does not have that Luca key. Has obtained the Earth Crystal moments ago, so can go up and do Zod. Could have done it without the Earth Crystal. You technically don't need it in Push Me to Jump, but that will nudge him a little more in the right direction.
And we do have a GG for GPS who just completed, I think, right?
Yep, 57-54.
Oh, I see. He did. Yeah, sorry. It was like an undone and then a done. But yes, 57 minutes, 54 seconds. GG's. Let's see if we can't get him in here as well.
That is objective 1 down for Twisted Flax. Just has to take care of the Maga Sisters fight, and we'll have a dot done for him as well.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard with this crew, honestly. Just like everyone else, it's a pretty fast fight given what you have, and given what could possibly be there. Like an evil wall, my signature evil wall position at Leviathan. We'll murder you. It doesn't matter who you have. Like it's still gonna make you cry.
Evil wall at Leviathan, your best strategy becomes Edward, and just have him hide to let Evil Wall beat himself up, because you're not going to do more damage than that.
Very true. And we are joined with Gundam Pilot Spaz. GG's.
Oh, thank you so much.
I gotta ask real quick. Did
Yeah.
you forget to raise the whale?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I think I finished both the two other seeds I ran at the whale, and I enjoyed all objectives complete, like right in the Tower of Wishes there. So that's how I wanted to finish. Plus, it's it's a good. If I had to go to the moon, then I was gonna have to raise the whale anyway, and I might as well just save it just in case.
Fair. Actually, Poydrak, who finished it first, full check the moon. So you definitely, it was obviously extremely haunted, and yeah, that was a whole thing. So yeah, you didn't miss out on anything, which is good.
Yeah, at the point where, I mean, I had my darkness crystal. That's technically the only key item that you need. And with the jump flag, really the only other key item that I had to check for was the Luca key. So I was kind of lucky to grab it from the Tower of Zot. And I decided to check it right away. I assumed a lot of people would go Tower of Zot because of the jump flags were on, right? And pulling the Luca key at the Zot just made that check more obvious, I think. Because I think most runners would have it, but I think maybe only a small percentage of runners would actually bother checking it as soon as they got it. And if it was nothing there, it's an easy reset. So that's why I ran there, even though there's almost no advantage with the jump flags or time save or anything.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it did work out. Did lead you to the right direction. Have you been doing a lot of the push B to jump recently? I know like that was not a part of the tournaments as of late, but I know it's a fan favorite.
Yeah, I did. I think I did one async before these community flags came out, and my mind is very much still tied to those group flags or not the group flag, the second tier flags from some three Mason. See, I'm starting to wipe it from my memory. The table flags, because as soon as I got like my 5th character, I like hesitated because like, oh, wait, I have 5 characters. Why is this menu coming up? I'm so used to permajoin. And it took me a second to process. Oh, I must dismiss Edward now, quick. So some of that muscle memory is still stuck in me, and the push B I'm getting reused to push B to jump. But I really like. I think early on when the jump flags first came out in April, I think there was like a discussion, and the agreed upon method of using jump flags without any boss hunts. But a boss hunt with the jump flags, it does 2 things. It forces you to kind of extra think about the jump locations and the boss locations, because for example, like the Cave Magnus is a location that on the jump flags I would check almost as soon as I had some form of exit, because you just jump over the Dark Elf. If it's nothing, you just reset, right? But if you're doing a boss hunt, you don't want to do Cave Magnus twice, so you have to wait for the Twin Harp unless you get in a really bad spot. So the boss hunt with the jump flags after they've been out for so long, it really forces you to kind of retune your routing.
Like you can kind of do everything. You can do everything fast like you could before, but now you have to think about, okay, maybe I have to go back and do something, or I'm like, yes, I can jump over the Dark Elf spot in Magnus, but I actually also have to check that boss too.
Yeah, or having going to check the King Queen spot too. Like that's something they would never do on a jump flag, and it's something that I made sure to note I was going to do this time.
Just a quick aside, Twisted Flax on stream just finished in 9th place with a time of 1 hour, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, so GG to him. GPS, how did you feel about finding a real-life Fusoya?
I felt pretty good. Fusoya on the Mysidian Jump Club flags is never, like, it almost feels like a burden, because then you have to go back and defeat some bosses that you wouldn't otherwise do. But because I'm checking these spots anyway in the boss hunt, it worked out, and I ended up clearing, especially up on Mount Ordeals. Like there was just 3 easy boss spots I ran through and got Fusoya all the spells. But yeah, it really is nice to have the band man back in these seeds. It was nice. I mean, I found the Palom later, but not having to get Iridia up to Quake levels was certainly nice for the Magnus Sisters fight. And just because I had Fusoya, I had to throw a swag media.
I mean, yeah, there's simply no argument. Yeah, again, GG's, any last thoughts on this race, on the community races coming back in general? Anything else?
Oh, it's I think we as a community we all were very much in love with the Three Masone tournament and how we as a community came together and pushed that forward. But it's almost kind of refreshing to have now back to like standard community races and the community clubs back now, because it feels a lot more inclusive after like the finals, because at some point in the tournament, only a handful of players are still in it. So now that everyone's back and can participate again, it's just like it's like a reset. It feels very refreshing, and we have a new club, and I'm very excited for that. It's gonna be a great time here in Free Enterprise going forward.
Heck yeah. GG's, GPS.
Excellent. Thanks guys for commentating. That Dathis for rolling this and for the restream, and the tracker as well. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Good night. And by the way, he just brought up we have a new club race tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We have the genesis of the Enterprise Legacy League. For those who don't know, it's going to start with a specific flag set, and then the winner each week will be able to modify one of the flags, which will then go forward into the following weeks, and you'll keep modifying over time. And there's also a cool meta narrative behind it as well, which I'm super excited to find out what that's about. So stay tuned for that tomorrow evening. There's wall-to-wall Free Enterprise, but I believe that is one of the races that it will be. I know it will be restreamed tomorrow, but I think it might always be restreamed as well, but I'm not sure. So, but yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yep, and with that, we are now joined by Twisted Flax, our 9th place finisher overall. Twisted Flax, GG on that run.
Thank you very much.
How'd you feel about that? It was obviously a pretty simple, it was straightforward except for having to do the whole Luca key thing. Did you feel pretty comfortable kind of just being able to blow through that pretty fast?
Oh, yes. Doing a little bit of a metagaming here, given that the Darkest Crystal was pretty early on the seed, and that the Biggest Sisters probably weren't going to give us much of a challenge given the amount of gear we had. The fact that no one had finished the seed in like half an hour made me think that it was probably behind either the Luca key or the package of the two key items I hadn't found yet. So when I found the Luca key, I felt pretty confident that was going to lead me to the Eblins.
Nobody did check the Giant. That was the other potential.
Oh yeah, I always forget about the Giant bosses there. That would have been rather nasty, again, considering the fact that you got the Darkest Crystal so early, and you can jump over the first boss and see where the second boss is. So that would have been a very trolly location for him.
To be fair, we all try to forget the Giant.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you did go up to the moon itself to do the sweep there as well, right?
Yes, I did. I figured
Okay.
there were 5 or 6 boss checks there. It was worth my while to spend the time to do it. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off.
No, you were not the only one, and it was a reasonable play to make. And from the sounds of it, you weren't terribly worried about actually fighting the Magus Sisters. I didn't see how much mute gear you had, but there was a fair amount of it kicking around.
I had Sid with the rune axe. I had the mute dagger to give to Edge with the Mazamune. I really didn't feel like I had anything to worry about with that fight.
In Masamune Mute Edge, with that, like, I think it's like the 4 times multiplier on Magus Sisters, kind of ridiculous. It's like probably did quad 9s each hit.
It was about 8,000 at that point, but yeah, absolutely.
How's it feel getting back to community race stuff and kind of being able to do jump in club, all that kind of stuff? Is it cool kind of getting back into this?
No, absolutely. I really enjoyed Threema Zone, but it's just fun to play different seed flag sets, just to get a little bit of a different feel for how the game can be modified. So yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to getting back to the swing of things.
Nice. How'd you feel about your performance this evening? You feel pretty good about it?
I could have gone to Earth Crystal or to the Towers Out early, since you don't need the Earth Crystal to do it in Push Me to Jump. I'm not really the best at Push Me to Jump seeds. I really haven't studied the optimal pathing. But overall, I think I played fairly well, so I don't have too many complaints.
Yeah, you're not the only one who's mentioned needing to get refamiliarized with the push B to jump. And you're not the only one who waited until you had the Earth Crystal to go up Zot, even though, as you said, it wasn't strictly required.
It's just one of those things that you sort of push to the back of your mind, because if you do want to complete it, you still have to fight a boss there that, well, not difficult. You can't beat, within the first 5 minutes of the game. So it's hard to route in otherwise. At least that's the way I found it.
That makes sense. Honestly, I feel like I want to ask a bunch of questions, but there's not a whole lot of incidental things that happened here. Like, no bosses were truly. Obviously, the moon was haunted, but other than that, not a whole lot happened. But not a whole lot happened. I'm sorry. But do you feel like this was pretty straightforward in terms of like routing for you? Like you said, maybe you could do Earth earlier, but like generally speaking, do you feel like, hey, I went to places with good amounts of bosses, given what I need to do and find bosses and stuff like that? Like all of that was pretty standard for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be completely fair, if you do get the Luca key early, you're not really terribly incentivized to go down there on a boss hunt, since there's only the one boss hunt, and you got to go all the way down. You've got to get the key item there. It's not a high priority. So even if I did get the Luca key early, I probably still wouldn't have saved too much time.
Yeah, it makes sense. Any final thoughts?
Nope. Just as always, thanks for restreaming, tracking for Daphis and Joseph behind the scenes, and Groundfire Hupton. I look forward to watching the VOD. Thanks as always for all your help.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Talk to you later.
And as we've been doing that, as Rumblefish is digging through this haunted moon looking for the Evelyn Royals, we have had a number of finishes. We're starting to hit that middle batch that a lot of runners will land in. So Harumph is taking 10th place with a 104.55. Emily's Poorly Drawn Bees with 108.14 coming in 11th. Charlie 109.48. PK 47.87 with a 113.03. And Rowdy Roddy Sniper, solid name, just a few seconds behind with a 113.23.
A couple really good names there. I love Emily's Poorly Drawn Bees. That's such a good name.
It's a solid name. It's descriptive. You get the visual just immediately.
And yeah, if you've ever seen her stream, like, it's all there too. Like, literally the backdrop is Poorly Drawn Bees. So she owns that. It's great. It's great. Well, Rumblefish has at least gotten himself out of that haunted moon and is going somewhere else on the planet. He's like headed to the Baron.
Yeah, I don't believe he finished. I think went down, saw the Odin throne, and just bailed out of it. So coming back to maybe actually do it. I'm pretty sure I saw him obtain the Earth Crystal. I know it's not lit up. He might have reset out of it. But, as Twisted Flax was saying, you don't actually need that to do Zot. And you do need to do Zot.
Exactly. Like, there's really no... That's one of the key items that literally has no use. But I'm guessing that Odin's spot with that Golbez is probably not a super high priority right this second. Jofus, that's 120%. I know that was the intention. I'm just being stupid.
On Rumblefish... Rumblefish did have the Luca key, apparently. I guess I missed him taking care of Zot, so that was his last location in the sealed cave because it's the sealed cave.
Yeah, nobody. It's just it's so out of the way. I don't know. Gotta take a couple extra turns. Like I don't feel like it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a cave like this, but when you got to the boss spot, that was the exit and you were just done, I think it would be fine as a cave. It's the fact that you have to come all the way back up and you can't exit. You have to warp at best.
That's true. That is a huge thing. Although you can do those like negative warp tiles in some places. I know that's one thing. Like you kind of jump out of the side of the walls, and it makes you. It does a -1 floor, so you can skip a couple of floors a little quicker.
Yeah, push me to jump. It says on the website that stability is not guaranteed.
It sure isn't, but that's fine. We don't need stability. We just need speed.
Precisely.
But yeah, Rumblefish is gonna be really happy with what he finds right now. Well, happy plus salty, I suppose.
Certainly an array of emotions will come from this.
A cornucopia of emotions. Sorry, it's Thanksgiving time. I kind of wanted to throw that word in.
That's fair. You don't get to use that a lot of the year. We're not sitting around in April talking about anyone's cornucopias.
I don't know why. Maybe I know why. And Rumblefish is actually trying to do some damage to Eblin instead of letting them go through the script. I'm not sure if that's faster in this case, but should be real quick regardless. Hupfin, I know we have a lot of community races. Now that we are starting all that stuff back up, I believe the races themselves are scheduled, regularly scheduled now. I know Restream is still up in the air, but would you? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to ask to go through that, and then I realized that boss is over, so I will stop.
Well, we can discuss that after we talk to Rumblefish, who has just finished.
Yes, he is finished with a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 59 seconds. GG's. It looks like we're going to be seeing him in just a moment. Dathis says, jump in when ready. Dathis. Yes, jumping. Yes. We are now joined by Rumblefish. GG's.
Thank you guys so much. I guess I kind of gave you a world tour there. A free world tour, no less.
I mean, you weren't the only one to go check the moon.
Well, I can just in hindsight, now that I find out where the King and Queen Evelyn were, there's probably a lot of groans that after I got the Luca key, that was my destination. I was just going with probability. I mean, and I thought, well, since the Darkest Crystal was so early on, maybe that's why there were so many. Just looking at the metadata, maybe because that Poydrak and others got done so early that it was in they were on the moon after all. But as it turns out, that was not the case.
I mean, I will never fault somebody for putting off Sealed Cave.
They sealed it for a reason.
Exactly. It's always sealed cave, except when it isn't. So, I mean, it's just, and sealed cave is always it's just unpleasant to go through, so.
Hey, the important thing is you didn't even have to warp back out of it. You finished there.
Well, okay, that definitely gave me an advantage. So, okay. I mean, I'm like in 15th place, and I'm in like last place in the screen. But I guess I guess the important thing is the friends we make along the way.
I don't have any friends.
Oh, that's too bad.
Sorry.
But we have Fu. Fu was around. Fu was an option.
Really? Fu, where's Fu?
Sand Ruby.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't even get the sand. It must have been from one of the moon bosses, or actually it could have been Tower Key or something.
I don't remember
Not
where
the
Sand Ruby
Sheila
was. Well, I think that was Sheila one, yes.
I liked my setup. I thought I was a little OP. With Rydia and with Leviathan, and then Susso with Crystal Sword, and Edge with Masamune. So, I mean, Fu would have been an okay addition, but I think Fu has nuke. But I mean, I was generally speaking very happy with my setup. I thought it was a little OP.
Oh, yeah, no, there was plenty of power to go around. The real challenge was that the royals were hiding in Sealed Cave.
Yeah. And you had to kind of find them there. I guess one thing I was kind of gnashing my teeth about early on was having thrown both the White Spear and the Dragoon Spear, and then of course you find Kane in the Eblin Cave, and I was like, oh, I just got rid of both of his ultimate weapons. Of course I'd find him there.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing.
Yeah, but it's push B to jump, so everyone's a Dragoon, so.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, obviously you got that Masamune, so you got enough of the physical damage that you need. I don't think it's too big a deal to not have a totally fleshed out Kane, but I understand.
Right. And he did okay. He did pretty well too with the Poison Axe. So, which is what I had him with for most of the seed. And I mean, especially when you go against the Mega Sisters, you really want to have magic or rune-based attacks, and I had that in spades. I had the Mute Dagger, I had the Sid with the Elven Bow, so just the physical attacks against the Mega Sisters were really good for me there.
Yeah, that's a serious amount of damage. I think somebody else had a rune axe too, and obviously that's a lot of damage. But yeah, Mute Dagger on that edge feels real good.
Yeah. Especially against the Mega Sisters.
Everyone was power overwhelming on that fight. It was nice to see quad nines come out occasionally.
The Mega Sisters can be a real pain. In fact, they can be, because of they're bouncing the magic onto you and you can't repel it. So if you can do, OP damage on them, it can be very satisfying. Just that feeling just to really hit them back.
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone else, but I know that fight was a nightmare when I was a kid. So a little bit of payback, a little bit of Schadenfreude. It doesn't feel super bad against them.
Yeah, when I was first playing this game when I was like 9 years old and I rented it from the Blockbuster video, I remember that was as far as I could go the first time I got through it. So yeah, that fight is definitely one that goes down in my memory as one of the most difficult.
But yeah, how do you feel about getting back to community races and all that kind of?
I am so thankful to do that because I mean the league was great. We had some really great races, and I'm really just thankful, impressed by this community coming together to put together the league, and it's just really good that we can have this kind of the streamers are always on time, and it's just we have a really dedicated community. So I'm really glad that we pulled off that league. But the community races are great because, I mean, let's face it, towards the end of the league there, we were just, it was limited to very few runners, and they were the top-notch runners, the best runners that we have in the community. So it's great to get back to the community races where even the mediocre players like myself can have their time in the sun.
Yeah, for sure. Any final thoughts?
This is a fun seed. I mean, it was short and sweet, and Edge is always a fun player to play with, and then especially when you give them a Masamune, just the dual wield is is really cool, and so it's really a lot of fun just having to start the game with him and being able to take out a lot of the early bosses with him, and yeah, so those are fun times.
Well, yeah, once again, GG's, and thank you for being on the restream tonight. It was a pleasure watching you.
Thanks for streaming me.
Yep, and we'll echo that thanks again to Twisted Flax, Poydrak, and Gundam Pilot Spaz, our other 3 runners this evening. And thanks again to Dathis for handling the restream and getting through those technical hiccups right quick. And Jofus Manon for handling the tracking on 4 pretty divergent routes throughout the entire seed. And it's my co-commentator, Groundflyer.
Oh, thank you so much, Hupfin. It's been a pleasure chatting with you this evening. But yeah, I guess we're going to be signing off here for the evening. Just a reminder. Actually, you know what? Hupfin, did you want to do a quick run through of the community races that are coming up?
Well, I would if I had the calendar readily available. Sounds like we're going to sort that out. Again, I'll plug the Free Enterprise Discord if you're not hanging out there. That is where you'll get all the information on the upcoming races and so forth. I do know that we have the Enterprise Legacy that we talked about. That will be tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific on the Free Enterprise channel.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to absolutely either be playing or watching or in the restream crew. So I will be there with you all tomorrow night. But until then, it's been Hupfin and myself. Thank you so much for hanging out with all of us. It's been a pleasure watching and chatting with you in this chat and everything else. But until next time, have a great evening. Peace out, friends.